I'm Jessica Anne Pressler, and you've tuned into Your Traitor Within, a podcast that exposes the brutal truths of healing, self-discovery, and breaking free from relentless patterns of self-sabotage. Today, I'm thrilled to welcome photographer Janet Barnett, a woman who has made it her mission to capture the raw power and unapologetic confidence that comes with living life on her own terms. Janet started her career in the wild days of Sunset Strip, taking photos of rock stars in their natural habitat, all leather, attitude, and spotlights. But here's where her story takes an incredible turn. She realized the most compelling subjects weren't necessarily the ones with platinum albums. They were the women over 40 who had lived, learned, and were ready to own their power. Janet's lens doesn't just capture what subjects look like, it captures who they are. Because in Janet's world, life after 40 isn't about fading into the background, but instead turning up the volume. Janet Barnett, welcome to Your Traitor Within podcast. I am so excited to have you, not only seeing you professionally, not only being one of the subjects of your photography, which was incredible, the experience at the shoot, the experience of getting to know you, and then, of course, your incredible photos.
It's interesting that you asked me to do this because I've been having this conversation with myself for the last couple of months. And I have realized that my overall lack of confidence in myself over the last 30 years has probably cost me millions of dollars.
Explain, please.
Because I never really got myself together enough to really make the big money and to go for the big money. And to this day, it still limits me a lot. And when I started really totaling up like how much that accounted to, even in very small terms financially, even in like almost like a minimum wage sort of way, it has literally cost me millions of dollars.
Wow. So where did that come from? Where did that lack of confidence come?
Oh, wow. And that's always the question that people ask is like, where did it start for you? And it's like, oh man. I always just think I was raised in a very, typical, what I considered a typical middle class home, but it was probably really a home that was lacked in a lot of scarcity mindset about money. And I never really, it never even occurred to me that making money was really a possibility for me. Isn't that crazy? Like I'll work all day, every day, and I will be like, yeah, if you want to pay me, it's great, whatever. I don't really think the same, it's like, I don't have a problem with doing the work, but I have a problem with getting paid for the work.
Yeah, I understand. So you think it's a lack of self-worth, or it's just the messaging that you had as a child?
It's probably a combination of the two. To this day, Jessica, it still is tormenting me. Isn't that crazy?
Have you ever felt like your biggest enemy lives inside your own head? That inner critic that won't shut up, the voice that tells you you're too much, not enough, or somehow both at once? Jessica Anne Pressler, psychotherapist and author of Your Traitor Within, knows that voice all too well. That's why she created Your Traitor Within, the journal, a guided tool to help you confront, expose, and transform that inner saboteur. This isn't a fluffy gratitude diary, it's raw, unfiltered prompts designed to take you deeper. Think, hard questions, space to vent, and exercises that actually help you untangle the patterns that keep you stuck. Whether you're in therapy, healing on your own, or just ready to stop letting your inner traitor run the show, this journal is your companion, candid, powerful, and even a little rebellious, just like Jessica. So if you're ready to quiet the critic and hear your real voice, grab a copy of Your Traitor Within, the journal today. Click the link in Jessica's Instagram bio or search Your Traitor Within, the journal on Amazon today. The book is available in both an e-reader version and physical copy.
Well, yeah, I was adopted when I was an infant in 1962, which is like back in the day when people would get adopted and it would all be very down on the down low and hush hush and secret. And
Mhm.
then I was raised in a very nice family in Southern California. Like I said, my dad was a principal,
Mhm.
elementary school principal. My mom was a housewife, and they were both from the Midwest. And, their values were kind of conservative, but not super conservative.
Mhm.
Like I see people raised today with way more conservative values than I grew up with. I grew up in California in the
Mhm.
60s and 70s. It was a very much like choose your own adventure kind of thing. We'll just
Mhm.
all figure it out as we go along. Wasn't necessarily pushed in one direction or the other.
Mhm.
But yeah, about 2 years ago, I found my birth family thanks to the modern miracle of genetic testing.
Mhm.
And I found out I have my birth mother has passed away. My father's still alive, and I have two younger full sisters.
Mhm.
And while they grew up in a very similar, not only just a similar neighborhood, they grew up across the street, but
Wow.
they never, to my knowledge, I don't know if they ever crossed paths. My sisters did not go to that school.
Mhm.
But my birth father, he's an interesting character. He's very sweet, very like fun-loving guy.
Mhm.
And I can already see the differences in kind of the way my sisters grew up versus the way I grew up. Like my father, I don't know why I call him my grandfather. My father is he's a very generous person
Mhm.
and very loves to travel, loves to have a good time, loves to do all the things. And I didn't really grow up in that environment. I grew up in an environment where it's like, no, we can't do that. We can't afford it. We can't do this. We can't afford it. That's for other people, not for us kind of
Mhm.
mentality.
So we talk about the traitor within, the messaging and modeling.
Mm-hmm.
So you already were, that's for other people. Making
Mm-hmm.
it's for other people. That's a message that you may
Mm-hmm.
have heard in your head. So that, that may be part of that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's so fascinating because just in the last couple of months, it's occurred to me that, wow, this has really, really overall damaged my life in a
Mm.
huge degree.
But as you, with your taking photos of women that are 40 and older,
Hmm.
too, have many years ahead of you that you can make change.
Yeah, absolutely.
That particular piece.
And the crazy thing is, too, that people always think, oh, having a photograph, it's so frivolous, it's so vain, whatever. I'm not going to do that. That's for other people,
Mhm.
right? But we both know a lot of people over 40 that are entrepreneurs that
Mhm.
are starting on a new career or expanding on a career they've already had. And having a photograph of yourself in a successful way is a
Mhm.
great way to manifest what you want
Mhm.
because then you've created the
Mhm.
image of what you're becoming. It's
Mhm.
right in front of you.
Mhm. Well, the experience of having a photo with you and of course the having the photo after to me was self-care and self-love.
Yes, very much.
It was and even if you're uncomfortable with that process, you made it comfortable. And
Oh, thank
like,
you.
you can grow from it.
Yeah.
And then I think that so how are you growing from your experience from doing it?
Every day is a new challenge, Every day I wake up, it's like, yeah, it's going to be great. And then by noon, I need a pep talk, right? It's like the
And
caffeine is worn off or whatever. And my ADHD has kicked in. I'm like, oh shit, now what am I going to do? Every day is a challenge for me, but every day I keep trying to get back in there and do what I can do for my business and for other people's lives as well.
so what kind of change are you going to make to increase the monetary part now that you've made that realization?
Well, it's interesting because I just started, well, a couple of years ago, I started working with a coach that just coaches photographers. And the mindset part, not just for me, but for a lot of other photographers and artists, is a huge, really, that's really the huge
Mm-hmm.
piece of the puzzle is the mindset part.
Mm-hmm.
So that's always the challenge for me. It's not even so much, now I finally got it into my thick head that, yeah, I am good enough. I'm
Mm-hmm.
as good as anybody else out there. And even if I'm not, it doesn't freaking matter.
Mm-hmm.
It's just all about what I can do for my clients and what experience I can give them. And yes, I deserve to be compensated for that.
Right. So that's the next piece that you
Yes.
deserve to be compensated. Because I think you always, at least since I've known you, felt you wanted to give that to your clients.
Yes.
It sounds like the piece that was missing was that it's okay to get paid for it.
Yes. And it's okay to get paid really well.
And well, right.
Yeah. And not everybody has to be my client. You know, if I had 50 great clients a year, that's fine. That's not even that many people in the grand scheme of things, but that would be like, that'd be a kick-ass year for me.
Mm-hmm. So we would say your traitor within is this part of you that didn't take care of yourself monetarily, that didn't.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. And the messaging and modeling in your childhood, it sounded like, your family didn't, it was making money was for other people. So you had that message.
Yeah, because my dad was locked into an educator's salary. There was no,
Mm-hmm.
that was just, it was like a, fixed income kind of situation back in the 60s and 70s. And my mom didn't work outside of the home
Mm-hmm.
because she just didn't,
Mm-hmm.
it was actually not that common back. It was not uncommon to be a housewife.
It was the culture.
The
Because
culture,
sometimes messaging and modeling also comes from culture. It's
what
not.
they call trad wives now, although now these young girls are like looking for that trad lifestyle, right? They're
Heard
like,
the term. That's interesting.
they're like, just let him go off and make the money and I'll have 60 kids or whatever and take care of that. But
It did a circle.
it did a full circle. I'm like, you girls, I don't know if you know what you're getting into.
Mhm. Yeah. If they find Mr. Right, then it may work fine.
It has as much chance of working as anything else, right? Even arranged marriages have the same
Oh,
chance of
I
working.
think some of them do really well, actually.
Yeah.
The parents picked well for their kids.
Yeah. I know I have to resist the urge to pick people for my daughter. So I can see where that comes from now. I'm like,
Yep.
oh, they're cute. They'd be a good match for you.
Because you want the best for your kids, right? But so that's one piece was the messaging and modeling. What about the self-worth piece?
Well, yeah, the self-worth, well, of course, it's all tied in together. The self-worth piece is just like what, not just what you can bring in, but what are you willing to spend on yourself?
Mhm.
You know, it's like I would run around LA and see these women in, the expensive bags, I remember like 20 years ago, was the first time I'd ever seen someone carry a Gucci purse, right?
Mhm.
It was a Gucci diaper bag. I was in
Oh,
a baby class. I'm like, holy shit, they've got Gucci diaper bags? That's insane.
mhm.
So driving around in their Porsches, and I'm like, I was just like not raised that way. I was just like, wow, this is a whole nother level,
Mhm.
you know, that felt completely foreign to me.
Okay. So was it just foreign, or did you feel like it wasn't for you as that message was, or
I
what?
felt really out of place. It was a very much oh wow, this is not my scene. And now I'm trying to get into the point where I feel like it's my scene. Like this is my scene. It's
Hmm.
okay to do that and have that and want that. Because so much of the messaging you get too, I don't know if it's just as a woman or just the time I was born, was, oh, it's nice to have money, but you should give it away or you should give it to charity or, spend it on your kids or you always need there's always something else to spend the money on.
And not on you. So
Right, not on you,
yeah.
right? Except for like basic stuff, like maybe getting your hair cut and whatever. But
Mhm.
other than that, you know, don't spend it on yourself.
So it's a need to change that message that it's okay, that self-care, self-love is not selfish.
It's not selfish. And ironically, I think that a lot of the internet has brought a lot of women to forward who are sharing that image, which is fine with me. I'm like, I'll eat that stuff up. I'm just like, yes, tell me again. Tell me again. It's okay. Tell me again.
So maybe you do have to say it over and over again to rewire your
I do. That's apparently how my brain works. I have to do it all the time.
self-care is not selfish.
It's
Self-love
not selfish.
selfish. And you will be a better you, which means if you have to look at it as the unselfish, way, you'll be a better you to others if you are feeling good about yourself.
If you have more resources to treat yourself well, to create a better life for yourself, you'll be in a better mood. You'll be better to your clients.
Hmm.
They'll be happier.
Mm-hmm.
they'll pay you more. It's the full circle
Hmm.
moment of just good energy, right?
And if you project that you're worth more, then more people will come to you as well
Oh,
because
yeah. That's easy enough. I mean, to have that, it's interesting because I had a coach say to me a couple years ago, you have to make yourself a little bit famous.
hmm
And I think a lot of people are turned off by that notion too, because they think, oh, that's so vulgar, or that's so Kardashian, like that's so gross. Who wants to be famous? If, but people are attracted to that level
hmm
of familiarity
hmm
and charisma, right?
hmm
It's like when you're around someone who even is like a little bit known
hmm
and you see how other people respond to them, it's really enlightening. It's like, ooh, God, they're kind of like a big deal, right? So if
hmm
anything you're doing is as an entrepreneur, you really have to try to make yourself a little bit famous to get those people interested in working with you,
hmm
which is a whole nother level of self-love, right? It's like when you're operating on that level, it's a very high vibration.
Good point. Yeah.
So
So what are you going to do now to change, to tell that traitor within to get, to hasta la vista, let me make changes in my life? How do you
oh
do
gosh, I have to tell her every day, that bitch. I mean, it's like it's a process
it?
every day. Every day. I just
Have you made changes? Have you?
oh I every morning I wake up and I do like a little meditation, like a little quantum leap meditation to
Mhm,
kind of get me into the next level and to stay there.
mhm,
That's the tricky part.
mhm,
So, and then when things go sideways or someone says something negative, you just have to go, that's part of it. That's part of the whole thing. Just move on. Move
mhm.
on in that realm. It's fine. Everyone gets that.
Everyone gets that, and sometimes that negative has nothing to do with you, but to do with
It absolutely usually doesn't. Plus, if you are planning on being famous, you're going to get a lot more of it.
right, because you're more
So,
exposed.
so you have to adjust your nervous system so that you can
Right,
ignore it, be ready for it, find a way to cope with it.
right. I always think about the actors, for example, that go for
Hmm.
parts, and there's a lot of rejection, and it isn't necessarily about their acting ability, but they just weren't right for that It wasn't the right match. There wasn't the right chemistry. There wasn't the right
Exactly. It wasn't their moment.
was meant.
It wasn't their moment. It wasn't their fit.
Right.
And the difference between the ones who really get into that 1 to 2% is they just stuck it out,
Mm-hmm.
you know? They
Mm-hmm.
just kind of kept going, oh, it's okay. I'm going to keep moving forward.
It didn't scare them or upset them enough that they said, I'm out of here, I'm done.
Yeah.
How has your experience on social media been?
I actually love social media. I, I actually really like social media. Um, Probably too much sometimes. It's like you can get down that rabbit hole
Mm-hmm.
pretty fast.
Yeah.
But I was actually one of the early adopter on Twitter like
Mm-hmm.
15 years ago. I actually just got kicked off Twitter about 4 years ago. So,
I did not know.
you work it right sometimes. But I love Instagram. I love Facebook. I'm not so much a LinkedIn person. I'm trying to get more into Pinterest. I like things that are more visual.
Mm-hmm.
And I look for stuff on social media, I love threads. I love all of that stuff. It's just, I think the anonymity of it keeps people really open in a way that
Mm-hmm.
they're probably not with their friends.
Mm-hmm.
They'll just pop off and say the weirdest thing.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's just like, of course, the most basic thing, like, oh, I just had a great sandwich at so and so sandwich shop. And that's fine too. Why not
Mm-hmm.
say something like that?
It keeps people connected.
It does. It
Yeah.
does keep people connected. So, um, even before the pandemic and the lockdown, I was big into social media. I have no problem with that.
Mm-hmm.
And then if people say something negative, I just delete it and block them.
Yeah.
So,
Of course, you have that power. We all do, and I think it's a good thing. And yeah, there are people out there. They're the trolls, right?
Oh, absolutely. And I'm wasting time arguing with someone or
Mhm.
it's not worth it, you
I
know.
do. I agree. So you have this piece of you that has maybe caused you not to grow looking back in certain
Hmm.
areas that would have benefited yourself. But now you have this long life ahead of you.
Yes.
And to make new choices and how you're not only how you see yourself, but how you see yourself, but also how you then project and take care of yourself.
Yeah. Well, I mean, on the one hand, you got to walk the walk
Mm-hmm.
and be an example for people you want to work with. But
Mm-hmm.
on the other hand, also, it's like, what are you going to do with yourself? I
Mm-hmm.
mean, if you're in your 60s,
Mm-hmm.
50s, and 60s, and you don't have something to do every day that
Mm-hmm.
excites you and gets you out of bed, I mean, what the hell are you doing?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know?
And then we also talk about intergenerational trauma. You have a daughter, and by example, you're teaching her.
I'm trying.
Mm.
I'm trying. Oh my gosh. I mean, my lack of ability to earn has affected my daughter too, her lifestyle. She could have had a bigger lifestyle,
Mm-hmm.
and learned from that.
Mm-hmm.
So that hasn't not affected her,
Right.
even though, her life's fine enough, it could have been completely different,
Mm-hmm.
you
But you can
know?
make changes now.
Yeah, well, I'm planning on it.
Mm-hmm.
That's definitely in the way. But you think about how much that kind of inner turmoil affects not just you, but yeah, you're right, the kids, the spouse, all of the family. It's like
Mm-hmm.
that's a big one to not feel like you're good enough to accept being paid
Mm-hmm.
for work that you do really well. That's
Yeah.
like that's just absolutely insane, you know? And I always think of that comment. It's like, just behave like you're kind of a mid-level white man going through this world. Like these are people that have no problem with confidence or asking for stuff, even though they're marginally talented and probably have, questionable skills at best. They have no problem asking for the big money at all.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they're raised that way.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's completely different mindset.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think that females have been taught to just be givers.
Yeah.
Many, you know.
Givers or just accept what's given to them
Mm-hmm.
also. Just take,
Right.
whatever it is, be grateful, you
Mm-hmm.
know.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing that really bugs me too that we always say to women is, you have to be humble. You have to stay grounded. I'm like, women do not need to stay fucking grounded. We've been grounded long enough.
Mm-hmm.
Quit being humble.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You can be grateful, but quit being humble about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do agree that's a message, certainly from our generation.
Right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So if you would give yourself different messaging as a child, what would you have done to change your traitor?
I would say start actually thinking the fact that you could have this career and you could get paid for it. You
Mm-hmm.
could make money for it. This
Mm-hmm.
is not just like a hobby,
Mm-hmm.
and this is not just something you enjoy. This is something that you could really turn into an incredible life for yourself,
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, I follow a lot of the big photographers still, the people really making the big money.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of them aren't people who you would think. They're not necessarily even people doing magazine work. They're people doing similar work to what I do,
Mm-hmm.
working person to person, business to business.
Mm-hmm.
And the only difference is the mindset,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Yeah.
And I think that's true with any profession, really. It'll probably be the one thing that keeps you out of the big game is your
Mm-hmm.
mindset.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, which is your traitor.
Mhm. Yeah, absolutely.
You down. not a
Absolutely.
potential.
Stop being the potential person. Be the person.
I love that.
Stop it, right? Stop thinking, oh, I've got all this potential. Well, yeah, you fucking do, but just be that.
I have chills from that. It's a great quote.
Oh, thank you.
Stop being the potential.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry if I'm swearing on your podcast.
It's okay. This is an adult podcast. I could say anything.
Oh, we're gonna get that adult language rating on your
Okay. Sometimes
podcast.
it's more interesting. Just like asking for more money makes a person almost better. I mean, I think that you ask for more money, sometimes that actually makes people think you're worth more. I mean,
Oh,
it's a circle, right?
absolutely. I mean, you know how people ask sometimes things like, can you just refer me to someone who's reasonably priced? And at the end of the day, for some people, no matter what it is, $20 is too much money.
Right.
And by the same token, 20 million is nothing for some people.
Correct.
So you can't outsmart their freaking mentality. You just have to be offering what you're offering with confidence and not
Mhm.
worry about. Then you have to get into all their trauma. I don't have time for that.
Mhm.
I don't have time to unpack all their
Mhm.
nonsense. I've got my own nonsense to deal with. So,
Yeah. So this is the monetary piece. Has that mindset of the worthy piece of it shown up in any other way, like when you were a teenager or an adult or a child?
I didn't really think about finances when I was a kid or even as a teenager.
Hmm.
I was kind of blissfully unaware,
Hmm. Like many
it
teenagers.
like
Yeah.
kind of ideal. I don't want to say ideally, but like in a lot of cases, if you're taken care of enough, you don't really think about it that much,
Right.
right?
Hmm.
Maybe you don't do everything your friends do, but you do enough things.
Hmm.
And even up until probably in my 30s, I didn't really think about it. I was just hacking away at like low level gigs,
Hmm.
very LA kind of thing, right? You're just kind of putting together all these little part-time gigs that you have to kind of, you're not really taking things so seriously. Life used to be cheaper back then, so you could afford to do dumb shit like take a job for $50 just because you
Hmm.
wanted to do it. Um, but these days, I think, it's a totally different game plan. It's like if you're going to be in business and doing anything, it's like you have to think of it as really dollars first. And how are you going to get there?
I also think, and tell me if I'm wrong, that particularly with the creative, with the arts, that you're kind of told like not everyone makes money. It's not always and you love what you do, so you're so lucky to be able to do it. Is there?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I've realized now? That um, probably the fact of the matter is that a lot of artists are Nepo babies or Nepo wives or
Mm.
spouses.
Hmm.
Like they really have someone else who's been supporting them the whole time.
Mm.
So, yeah, it is challenging, but it's not, I don't really think it's any more challenging when you break it down than any other gig. It's more
Hmm.
about, do you have your systems in place?
Hmm.
Um, that's really, I think, more the issue. So,
So what changes exactly are you doing? Are you just going to charge more money? Are you going to not take any, what are you going to do to help to
oh, well, I do have more better systems in place now than I did even 2 years ago.
Mhm.
Um, I'm actually using social media more strategically than I did even
Mhm.
2 years ago
Mhm.
because a lot of my clients are on Facebook.
Mhm. Mhm.
And even if sometimes I find Facebook annoying because it just kind of can be, I just navigate through that and have learned some tricks to make it work for me better.
Mhm.
Don't be afraid to ask for the referral. Don't be afraid to ask people, hey, you've got this business, I can help you do this,
Mhm.
you know. just keep showing. Oh, and showing up to a lot of networking events, creating a bigger network for myself. And
Mhm.
that's the other thing I've learned too about even networking. Networking isn't about being on the hustle. You can't be on the hustle. That's a very off-putting negative energy. You just have to show up in the room consistently.
Mhm.
So then when people think, oh, that's right, I know that woman who's a psychologist. I know that woman who's a photographer and I need a photographer right now. Could
Mhm.
happen. It might take years for that to manifest.
Mhm.
But at the same time, you're growing a network of people that you can count on for other things too. So,
Mhm.
I mean, maybe you need a roofer or an accountant or a
Mhm.
real estate agent, or
That's what networking is. Yeah.
yeah, that's what it is.
Mhm.
But a lot of people, for a lot of people, they're going, oh, networking doesn't work for me because they go in there handing out the business cards just
Mhm.
straight out,
Mhm.
and if they don't expect a return on that one visit, they won't return. So it's like,
And it's a one visit, but it's also you have to put the time in it of conversation and connecting and not just
oh, absolutely. It's like, it's always funny because people always go, well, don't work with your friends. I'm like, the reality is if you're networking well, everyone there is your friend and you're hiring your friends and you're working with your friends all the time,
right.
you
True.
know,
Absolutely
or
true.
someone a friend referred to you
Hmm.
because you really have to have that trust factor. So
So what would happen in the earlier days when you weren't taking care of yourself? You wouldn't network, you wouldn't like what was going
I
on?
didn't even do that. It's so funny because also the business has changed. My business has changed a lot. Like when I was younger and I was doing all these crazy rock and roll things, that was just so fly by the seat of my pants kind of gig.
Hmm.
And then I got married and my husband's a graphic designer. We have always worked together. We kind of got out of that business and started to do more corporate work. And then I started shooting weddings, and that was another crazy thing. I thought, I'll just shoot weddings for fun. I didn't even really think of it that hard as a business. I just thought it would be a fun thing to do. And if I make a little money, that's okay.
Hmm.
Then when I had my kid, shooting weddings was actually not conducive to
Hmm.
having a small child because you're busy all weekend.
Hmm. Hmm.
And I didn't want to be busy all weekend when she started school. So I had to figure out another
Hmm.
direction. It's just funny how you just kind of weave in and out of these different
Well, different points of your life.
points of your life and career. And then I think it was about 10 or 12 years ago. There was another photographer who I really admired, and she was doing portraits of women. And I was like, wow, that's so cool. I
Mm.
would love to be photographed by her. That would be like so cool. And it happened. I got photographed by her. She had a thing where she was doing a women's over 50
Oh. Hmm.
campaign. And I think I was just over 50 and I applied and I got selected.
Hmm.
And I went to her studio in Seattle and did this whole photo shoot. And that set the basis for what I'm doing now. I was like, oh, this is something you can do as a career. That's amazing. So that kind of shifted the whole direction.
Hmm.
So,
Hmm. And tell me a little bit about what it was like to film the Rock and Rollers. Like, what was that period of time
oh,
like?
that was just fun because it was like the most fun period in LA on the Sunset Strip in the late 80s and early 90s. It was MTV was on, and this is the funny thing. I was watching MTV and I'm like, God, it would be so fun to like shoot people like that. And then I realized, oh, all these people live like down the street.
Hmm.
I'm in LA, they're in West Hollywood. I'm just going to go down there. I'm
Hmm.
just going to go down there and find some people. And
Hmm.
that's what I did. And I was in school at the time. I was at Art Center in Pasadena. I actually would get these guys to go to Art Center and do photo shoots with me. And the other students would be like, what the hell are you doing? Who are these people?
Hmm.
And it was so crazy. I would just like drag these guys in. Some of them became famous, some of them didn't, but they always had, the outrageous look and,
Hmm.
the style and the swagger and the whole thing. And
Hmm.
even then I realized just a couple years ago I was really doing marketing photography. It was market helping them marketing
Yeah.
themselves,
Yeah. Yeah.
branding, which
Yeah.
is what we call branding now. I was like, I was helping these idiots brand themselves back in the day, and that's exactly what I'm doing now. So
Mhm. Right. That's
yeah.
That's true. Do you miss that time period, or was it good for that period of time? And
You know,
then,
it's funny. I still know a lot of these guys
oh, okay.
30 years later. It
Yeah, we
was
can
good for
get
the
them all into
time.
a room and take one big photo.
I know, right? It was like a moment in time that I don't think will happen again because it was so, I don't want to say lawless, but people were very, very free. And the
Mhm.
environment in LA was very free. And I mean, you'd be down on the strip and there would be like between like the one block area between like the Gil Turner's liquor store and I think the whiskey. It's like a one block stretch.
Mhm.
Maybe Gazzari's, Roxy, Whiskey, the Viper Room was across the street. The street was packed with people, like just packed, so packed that they were in the road. They were on the Sunset Strip.
Mhm.
And the sheriffs were totally fine with it. And no one ever got, I never saw a fight. It was
Mhm.
like very chill kind of situation. I don't think that could happen now.
How come? What's the
I
difference?
think the crowd control is a big issue for people now.
Mhm.
Everyone's more litigious,
Mhm.
it's like just a different vibe. Like I never see stuff like that really, unless it's like a big concert at a venue and people are looking to go inside. But this was like Friday, Saturday, Sunday night,
Mhm.
every weekend, just full of young people
Mhm.
hustling their bands,
Mhm.
whatever.
Sounds great.
Some of those guys were brilliant marketers. Brett Michaels from Poison, it's like the best marketer I've ever seen in my life. He
Mhm.
would be plastering flyers up and down every telephone pole on Sunset Strip, shaking hands. If he wasn't on stage, he was networking. He was the greatest networker of all time. It was
Mhm.
like, yeah,
Well, they made it.
they made it. He figured it out. He was like, you want to pack that house, you got to have people on your side, you
Mhm.
know? So,
How are you going to do that for you?
yeah, exactly. You just have to make it, be fun, make it be a fun experience. At the end of the day,
Mhm.
everyone's looking for a good time, especially I think in the
Mhm.
50s and 60s. It's like you've done the work, you've raised the kids, you've done it's like,
Mhm.
I just want to have a good time. I just want to enjoy myself.
Mhm. Yeah. Um, and so how do you tell people about, I mean, I had a great time when I did it with you. So
Oh, good.
how do you,
You look so beautiful too. Oh my God.
you did a great job.
Oh, you look so stunning.
So how do you, again, how are you going to market yourself now? I mean, what you're doing, I know you're on a lot of social media and get, and get what you deserve for what you do.
Well, I mean, between the social media and the networking and the real key, I think, to getting into the money part of it
Mm-hmm.
is it's funny because something about photographers, people always think we're going to work for free, or maybe just the people that talk to me is always like, well, they want to collaborate. They want to do a collaboration. It's like that's like kind of code word for, oh, I'm not going to pay you.
Right.
But you
Mhm.
figure this out over time. But it's like you have to be willing to walk away, I think is the big thing. You
Right.
have to be willing to just be like, this is not for me,
Mm-hmm.
and move on to the next one. You know that saying that it takes like 10 no's to get to the one yes. You just have to
Mm-hmm.
get to those 10 no's quickly.
But I can see how that could be scary.
Yeah. It used to scare me. I don't think it does anymore. I mean, I know so I have people I've known in networking groups for years, like up to 10 years. I know they will never hire me for whatever reason.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not their person,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Mm-hmm. How does that feel?
I was like, well, that's just the way it is. It's like
Okay.
I'm not their person.
Well, I think it comes down to what I had said
Yeah.
before about the actors.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean anything about how good you are.
No.
It has to do with they chose another person. So
They
that's,
chose another person. Are
but
you a cat? You have dogs, right? You don't have cats?
I have two dogs. The cats are different. Is that
Cats
right?
are different. Cats will decide if you're their person or not.
Ah.
And if you're not, you're never gonna be. It's like, I'm sorry. But you
Mm-hmm.
still have to take care of the cat, but they're not your person. You're not their person.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's like you need to make peace with that
Yeah,
and not, and then you're not going to take what you don't deserve. I mean,
exactly.
know.
You don't, and also you don't put that energy out there that you're working for a discount either.
Mm-hmm.
So,
So have you changed your energy?
Yeah, I think so. I
Mhm.
think I have. It seems like I have.
Mhm.
Yeah. Also getting paid well feels really good.
Okay. Yeah.
So you get into the habit of
Mhm.
like getting paid well, and it's like everything's like a habit, right? Like making money's a habit. So you get into the habit of like, oh, I'm definitely not walking away with less than $5,000. So that'll be fine.
Mhm. And if someone is feeling the same way you're feeling, what advice would you give them? Or the way you felt, you know?
It is a growth process.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't feel, if they're like at whatever business they're in, you really have to set yourself up to start maybe it is small steps. Maybe for some people it's big steps. Maybe it's like some people just like walk out of the door every morning from on the first day and go, I'm making $1 million today.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But if you're not that person, maybe you have to work up to it because like it takes your nervous system time to get used to that.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay. Every small step forward is a step forward.
And I guess if you take a step back, you can still step forward.
You can still step forward. It's okay. You can
Right.
maybe spend a day in bed
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
planning your next
Mm-hmm.
evolution
Mm-hmm.
with your cat.
Mm-hmm. Your cat. Who is your cat? It's the cat that picked you.
Oh,
Cat.
the cat's my cat, definitely. I'm the cat. The cat, she's decided I'm her person. Everyone else is just spare people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Interesting. Interesting about kitty cats. Do you think your adoption played any part in your self-worth?
I don't know if it did because
Mhm.
it was never like a secret. I always knew about it. It was
Right.
never a secretive thing.
Mhm.
And I found my family so late, really, in my life. I mean, my biological dad is 91, and
Mhm.
people are wondering what happened to my adoptive parents. They are long gone. They would both be over 100 years old by now.
Mhm.
Um, so I'm lucky I had any time with my biological father,
Mhm.
because he's not young anymore either. Although he seems like it. He's got this very young energy to him.
Does he?
Yeah.
Mhm.
He's a fun guy. I love going over and hanging out with him and drinking a brandy and smoking a cigar. And
No, you smoke cigars.
I do with him.
Yeah, it's nice.
So yeah, we have fun together. And yeah, it's like, well, apparently I probably will live to be 90 at
Hmm.
least.
Hmm.
So I have to use the next 30 years
So back to what I said, you have a whole
wisely.
life ahead of you
Yes.
to take what you've learned from your past,
Hmm.
to quiet your traitor within, and to value yourself and make choices that are good for you, which includes monetary choice,
Yeah.
and teach your daughter the same.
Yeah. And teach her the same. Yeah.
Mhm. Anything you'd like to say before we close?
Oh my God, Jessica, it's all so exhausting sometimes.
Mhm. Yeah.
All these things we have to do, it's like, oh my God. Um, I don't know. Anyone who's like listening, I mean, I love what you do. I love your Trader Within message. Anyone who's got some kind, there's something in you that's probably the thing that's been holding you back.
Hmm.
Just try to figure it out
Hmm.
and get beyond it as
Hmm.
best you can. Ask Jessica for help.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you, babe.
And thank you for being you, and thank you for being so talented and everything.
Uh,
So happy so
Aw,
blessed
I'm
to know
so
you.
lucky to know you. I'm so lucky that you came into my studio, honestly.
I do.
That's the other great thing that I do when I get to make some great friends doing this.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So,
All women that come in. So if a man wants to come in, can they come? Or
oh,
is
men can come in, just
okay,
bring their checkbook or a credit card.
as long as you, yeah. Well, that's good. That's your new monetary taking care of yourself.
Exactly. Exactly.